Hey guys, welcome to the ultimate guide for Terminus in Black Ops 6 Zombies. This video will contain all the side Easter eggs, how to get the wonder weapon, some tips and features to help you out, as well as the main Easter egg quest. So if you guys enjoy this video or find it useful, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more zombies guides, and let's just hop right into this. Throughout this video, there may be mention to certain locations or islands on the map, so I went ahead and made this little map key just to make things easier for you guys if you're unfamiliar with the locations. So here's a nice little overview. And just a tip, when you're driving the boat out in the ocean, a tentacle monster is going to spawn if you're out in the water for too long, and it will send poisonous gas to chase you. To make it disappear, you have to get back on land. If you wish to make it go away for a longer period, simply stay on dry land for at least 30 seconds before going back out in the water, and it will reset the timer before the monster tries to come after you again. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Pack-a-Punch on the brand new zombies map, Terminus. As soon as you spawn in, there's 3 generators around the map that are marked for you, and there's even icons directing you how to get to them by opening doors, and you simply have to activate all 3 of them one at a time, and each time you activate one, you have to protect it from zombies that are gonna spawn in and try to actually attack it and destroy it. But you should be early on and you're spawning in with a gun anyways, so you should be able to hold it off just fine. Once you activate the first 2, the third and final generator to activate is going to be underground in the lab, and it's going to direct you how to get there. And once you actually activate that one, beware because this one's going to last a little bit longer and they're going to send bigger zombies after you. But after that one's over, you're going to see an icon for Pack-a-Punch down in the water. Now all you have to do is jump down into the water, onto the platform that Pack-a-Punch is on, and right opposite of Pack-a-Punch is a little control panel you can activate, and it will raise the elevator. Now you only need to raise it up 1 floor so it's out of the water, and then you are able to Pack-a-Punch. One little tip I have for you guys is if you find a shovel, which can be located near the caves, and in the caves, you can find dig sites which you can hold to dig up and usually get free salvage and other random stuff from. And if you're especially lucky, one of the rarest items you could probably get is a ray gun from it. But these dig spots can be found in the caves and on the islands out in the water. Another free perk in Black Ops 6 Zombies on Terminus. All you have to do is head to the biolab and go over to the left of Melee Macchiato near the tier 3 armor buy, and just outside the railing you're going to see some zombies trapped in cages. These cages range from the left of these 3 containers in the middle to the right. So simply kill all of the zombies that are in these cages. Once you've ensured you've killed them all, go ahead and flip the round to the next round, and on the next round some vermin are going to spawn in there. So then go ahead and do the same thing again and simply kill all the vermin, and ensure you've killed them all, then go ahead and flip the round one last time, and this time it's gonna be a mangler. I was playing solo, so there was only one. I don't know if there'll be more in co-op, but once you've successfully killed the mangler, a free random perk drop will spawn in. A little tip for you guys is if you ever see it pop up saying a SAM trial is available, look up in the sky for a giant purple cloud. You can also find it on the TAC map, and it's called a SAM trial. You simply head over here, activate the trial machine, and complete a little challenge it's gonna give you, and the better you do on this challenge, the better reward you're going to get. And this is actually kind of a common way to get free perks. A cool little free points Easter egg on Terminus. So all you have to do is get yourself a Pack-a-Punched gun and then head outside of the Juggernog room, jump up on these crates, and then you can jump, and just over the top of the building you're going to see a basketball which you can shoot, and it'll fly into the hoop and spit out about 2,500 points. Free points, a free perk, a free weapon, and free salvage. So it's really easy to do. All you have to do is get yourself a boat and head right to the south of the map to Crab Island. As soon as you get onto the island, if you look up towards this trees over here, you're going to see a crate. Now you're simply going to need an explosive to throw at this crate and knock it down. And then you're going to see some crabs spawn in just down below. So walk up to them and melee them, and it will initiate a whack-a-mole minigame. It'll give you a baseball bat, and you have to try to hit as many as you possibly can before the timer runs out. If you do it successfully, it should spit out a perk can for you to drink. If you head left from there, you're going to see some crabs in the sand over here, which you can then melee and also play the mini game. And this time, if you successfully complete it, it's going to spit out a bunch of points. I think it's about 2,500. If you then make your way to the right of there, just to the left of the armor buy, you're going to find some more crabs you can melee and play this minigame again, and this time your reward will be a weapon that pops out. Now the next crab location is going to be on the right side of the island, a little bit closer to the equipment bench, and it's going to be right here, and just melee the crab, and you can play this one also, and this one will spit out a bunch of salvage for you. But yeah, guys, that was how to play the crab whack-a-mole minigame and get a whole bunch of cool loot. How to do the Spores Easter egg to get a free perk and a bunch of other loot. So all you gotta do is get yourself a boat and then drive around and look for the little island that has a bunch of spores on it. This would be a lot easier in co-op, but all you gotta do is switch to your passenger seat and start shooting all the spores. Every time you shoot one, a little parasite is gonna spawn in, so make sure you kill it. But just make sure you circle that island and shoot out all the spores, and once you've shot the last one, there's going to be a little bit of rumbling on the island. Once you've successfully done that, you're going to have to then go to the next round. So I would simply go back to the main island and play a full round out to avoid having the Kraken's tentacle keep spawning in on me. But then once you're on the next round, head back out and look for a different island this time that will also have spores on it now. And then you're going to want to destroy all the spores on that island also, and there will be some rumbling, and then go ahead and go on to the next round once again. So then for the third time, you're gonna have to head back out into the water and look for the third and final island that's gonna have spores on it. Then once you're complete with that one, you're then gonna have to go to the next round once again, but this time head into the caves that Speedcola is located in, and a bunch of spores will spawn in that cave. Simply destroy all the spores in there, and then a free perk drop will spawn in. And when you pick it up, it should give a perk to everyone in the match. And there will also be a bunch of other loot, including a free Pack-a-Punch crystal, a little satellite crash Easter egg. All you've got to do is head over to an ammo mod machine and get yourself dead wire on your gun. Once you have dead wire, head over to the storage area just outside of the quick revive room and look up behind the building, and you'll see a tower. Now you're going to want to use your dead wire gun and try to hit the antenna of the tower in the middle section that's flashing blue. Once you've successfully hit it, it will then turn red, and then you are on a time limit to complete the rest of this little egg, or else you'll have to restart it. So then turn to your right, feel free to mount on the railing for some better accuracy, and then hit the other antenna that's far out over in the distance. Once you've hit this second one, you simply want to run through the mess hall around the corner, through the cannon trap, and activate it. The cannon will then shoot down a satellite in the sky that will come crashing down with loot. In my game, I accidentally stepped into the cannon and it teleported me to an island actually right next to where the satellite crashed. But if you're not as lucky as me, feel free to hop on a boat and drive around until you find the crash site, where there's now going to be a bunch of loot. From this little Easter egg, it's going to give you a bunch of salvage and a bunch of ammo mods. If you go to the biolab and jump in the water next to the Pack-a-Punch machine right here, where you can see these giant beams, if you go down here, you're going to see a rock. You can see there's a little bit of bubbles coming out of the rock, and there's a slight glow underneath. So if we simply get an explosive of sorts and just throw it just next to the rock, it'll move the rock out of the way, and we can hold interact to pick up the oxygen tank. And what this does is allows you to breathe underwater for far longer, as you can see. All throughout Terminus, underneath water, you can sometimes find chests that are glowing, and when you open them, you can get free random loot. This can range from extra salvage, weapons, equipment, score streaks, a free perk, and if you're especially lucky, a free ray gun, like I got in my game. Now there's 10 of these crates all throughout the map, and I'll throw up an image of all the locations marked on the map, and if you open all of them in a single game, you'll be awarded a free perk drop, which will simply spawn above you in the water after you open the last chest. So you can actually get all power-ups for free on Terminus. So if you head over to the Elemental Pop room and head just outside to this balcony, look across the way, and you're going to see a tiny full power on the wall, and if you shoot it, you will be able to get a free full power. If you then head through the jug room and over here and look up towards this tower that's shining a light, there's actually a max ammo right on the edge right there. You can shoot and get a free max ammo. If you head into the interrogation room, which has quick revive in it, and come over to the left side, you can look over here, and you will be able to see a free max armor in the corner next to the chair in the dark. And when you're in the biolab on the very top floor, way above Melee Macchiato in this office, you can find double points hidden behind these boxes right here. If you then head over to Crab Island and make a left, sort of towards the armor wall by, inside of this hole, you're going to see a free nuke you can shoot to get a free nuke power up. Right next to Crab Island, if you then go to the shipwreck, you can simply climb up here onto here, and you will be able to see a free bonus points in the window up here. It's kind of hard to see, but if you shoot in the general vicinity I did, you will get it. If you're ever on Temple Island, you can run over to the left of the ammo cache, and you should be able to find an insta-kill right up there and get a free insta-kill. To activate the boat race Easter egg, you have to find a specific mini speedboat on the map. Now there's 3 different possible locations. Now you're looking for the one that is flashing a red light. So the first possible boat is going to be over by Castle Rock Island, if you see where I am on the mini-map, and just hop into the water, and underneath the surface you should find a little racing boat. If the light is blinking on it, and it's not red, that means this is the wrong one. The second possible location is going to be over behind Temple Island, as you can see on my map, and this one's going to be a little bit further out, but thankfully these are pretty noticeable when you're close to them. And the third and final boat location is going to be just behind Crab Island, as you can see where I am in my match. And what I noticed was the one at Crab Island in my game had no light at all, not even a blue one blinking, and I was on a parasite round, so I simply ended the round, and when the round changed, my boat started blinking red, and then I held activate on it, and then it threw me into the boat race. Now this boat race minigame is similar to the bowling alley one on Liberty Falls, where the better you do on this course, perhaps even the faster you complete it, the better rewards you're going to get at the very end. So it's a cool little minigame Easter egg to get some free stuff. So to get free upgraded ammo mods, or the trophy/achievement called Culinary Delight, you are able to cook different recipes. So no matter what you cook, you're going to have to get yourself a fish. So simply head over to any area of the map that has water, find some fish swimming around the surface, and simply use a grenade or an explosive and blow them up so that they die and float to the surface, and then you can swim over to them and hold interact to collect them. Their bodies won't disappear when you collect them, so just be sure to hold interact all around them, and you might hear sort of an equipment pickup sound. Once you have the fish, you're also going to need some oil, which you can find just to the right of the stove on these shelves in the mess hall. Now to get the upgraded ammo mods, it's going to be determined based on whatever ammo mod you're currently using, otherwise you're going to waste this side quest, so you need to go after whatever ammo mod you're currently using or have equipped to your weapon, because it's simply going to enhance that version. So for Napalm Burst, you're going to have to get a can of chili, which can be found just to the left in the mess hall between some crates. For Cryo Freeze, you're going to need to get a snowball, which can be found on the top of the fridge in the living quarters, which is just above Juggernog. For Brain Rot, you're going to have to get a brain, which can be found in the biolab on a scale near some medical equipment. For Shadow Rift, you're going to have to get a mushroom, which can be found just outside to the left of the mess hall, going against this wall. And lastly, for Deadwire, you can find a pack of batteries sitting on the counter in the engineering room. Now simply grab the one that you need for your ammo mod and take that with the fish and the oil back to the pan in the mess hall and hold interact to add your ingredients to the pan. Then it will cook you up an ammo mod buff, but it's going to take a round to cook. So if you simply end the round and go to the next one, you will then be able to eat the fish, and it will give you a boost to your ammo mod. However, if you want the trophy, you simply collect all of the ingredients and put them all in the pan, and then the pan will start simmering in rainbow, and then when you flip around and eat that one, you will get a trophy/achievement called Culinary Delight. A pet stuffed animal that will fly around, shoot enemies, and even revive you. So all you gotta do is collect 6 stuffed animals around the map. So the first one's gonna be out on the wrecked ship, so go ahead and take a raft to get over there, and as soon as you get on the wrecked ship, it's going to be on the right side, tucked away in the corner. Then if you leave right from the shipwreck and go to the island that's right behind it, Crab Island. If you go just past the equipment bench, you should find the next stuffed animal behind the light there on the island. Now the third stuffed animal is just going to be in the cave that has PhD Flopper in it, and it's going to be just to the left of the gumball machine behind a pallet. Then if you keep heading to the biolab, you can find the fourth stuffed animal near the upper area's equipment bench, just to the left next to this medical area. Then the fifth stuffed animal can be found on the bridge that connects engineering to the sea tower, just tucked away right outside the doorway behind the fence. And the sixth and final stuffed animal is just going to be to the left of Stamina in a locker. So once you have all these stuffed animals, then head to the Juggernog room, and on the right side of the room you're going to see some beds, and you can interact with another stuffed animal there, and then suddenly they're all going to float up into the air and join together to become your little pet. So this little flying pet doesn't really do much damage, but it can shoot zombies and stun them a little bit, and if you go down it will revive you. I ended up testing in this match, and it revived me 3 times in solo without me ever wasting a self-revive. So I don't know if you can take this pet into the boss fight or something, but maybe you can get it crafted right before you enter the boss fight to help you out. How to get the Talisman on Terminus in Black Ops 6 Zombies. This is also how to get the Treasure Hunter achievement / trophy, and there is a Dark Ops challenge tied to this. So the first thing you need to do is get yourself Melee Macchiato, and then go over to the sea cave that has Speed Cola in it. Along the wall, you're going to see an opening that you can actually punch open with Melee Macchiato, and you'll now see a map on it. You should be able to hold interact for some dialogue, and you'll see a map that now has an X on it. So I believe this position could be different depending on the match you're in. So simply head to this X on the map that's going to be the exact same as your TAC map, and you're going to find a glowing golden watch underneath the surface of the water. So simply dive in and pick up the watch. So then you can take this watch back to the cave, to the skeleton in the map in the hole in the wall, and you interact with it once again. There'll be some more dialogue, and now 3 X's will appear on the map. And I believe these will be the same no matter the game you're in. So this will be Castle Rock Island, Temple Island, and the Shipwreck. So you're going to then need to get yourself 3 Molotovs, but you will need to be rank 32, I believe, to craft Molotovs at the workbench. Once you have yourself Molotovs, head to these 3 X's on the map. So for example, here in the Shipwreck, there's a skeleton here, and you simply need to throw your Molotov at it. It will burn the skeleton away, and it will then spawn a mini boss. So make sure you're decently set up for this, but try to be earlier on in your game so that it's not too challenging, and have a few zombies left roaming around so you're not just progressing rounds while you're doing this. So simply kill this mini boss, you'll drop a gold coin, pick up this gold coin, and then you'll have to repeat this for the other 2 locations. So this is where it can be found on Castle Rock Island, and then this is where it can be found on Temple Island. With these 3 gold coins, head back to the cave and return them to the pirate skeleton in the wall there. There'll then be some more dialogue, and he'll reward you with some free random legendary weapons. Once you've done all that, there's just one final step, and that is to go to Crab Island, and you simply have to survive there for 3 rounds without leaving it, and you'll know you're doing this correctly because you'll hear sort of lightning striking as the rounds change each time. And once you've completed this, a treasure chest will now appear and open up on the backside of the island, and you can find the talisman inside. So how this talisman works is when you pick it up, you will now permanently have double points, so everything you do will have double points tied to it. However, if you take any damage, it will remove a portion of your points. So you've got to be a little bit careful with this, and if you want to get rid of this talisman, you can simply place it back at the treasure chest, and anyone else in your match can then pick it back up. Simply picking it up will give you the achievement, but if you want the Dark Ops challenge, you have to earn 20,000 points while holding the talisman without taking any damage. So if you're just extra careful, have some solid weapons, maybe some wonder weapons to help you out, you could accomplish this pretty simple, especially if you're on an earlier round, but you could also just try using, say, a chopper gunner with a huge horde, and that could probably help you also. How to play the brand new Easter egg song on Terminus. So there's 3 little headphones you have to activate around the map. The first one's right over here in the corner on this spool. Just hold your reload button or your interact button. You're gonna come into the mines. So once you're in the mines, here's PhD, and the second one's just right here on this blue barrel. And now we can keep going, and it's pretty much just a continuous path to hit all three. The third one, you're going to want to come into the biolab, hang a right, and then head into this little meeting room, and it's going to be right here on the right, and you can hold and activate it. How to craft the brand new Beam Smasher Wonder Weapon on the Zombies map Terminus in Black Ops 6 Zombies. So first thing you're going to want to do is get power turned on and activate Pack-a-Punch. And once you've done that, there's 3 laptops around the map that we have to activate. The first one is over here right near the mines at the top of the staircase here. Just want to walk up to it and hold activate, and then I can also show you the position on the map here. The second laptop is going to be over towards spawn on the stamina up side. And then the third and final laptop is going to be just outside of spawn on the quick revive side. Next up, you're going to have to go to one of the ammo mod machines and actually get yourself dead wire on your gun. Then head over to the Pack-a-Punch machine, make sure it's downstairs in the lab, and activate the lift to go up. As it's going up, make sure you turn around and look inside this window and shoot this electric box with your dead wire gun. And then simply follow the electricity and keep shooting the electric boxes that it goes to, as shown in this video. So after you shoot the one above Pack-a-Punch, you're going to want to head into the Juggernaut room, shoot the one on the wall there, and then the last one right outside of there next to the door. Once you shot all those, it's going to power open a new room and open it up and just kill this zombie lady on the ground, and she's going to drop a fob. With this fob, you can then take it over to the corner of the map next to Elemental Pop in the tower, and then you can run over to the suitcase on the desk and open it up and grab a resonator from inside. This is also going to spawn a bunch of vermin, however, so just be careful there. And with this resonator, head back into that room you just opened up and walk up to this computer where you can place it, and now you can activate the computer and you have a code to type in. Now, if you're looking at the sticky notes, you're going to see some symbols there correlating to X, Y, and Z. So I will link a website in the description down below to decipher this code. You simply go to this website, and on the left side, you're going to see an image that shows a number next to those symbols. So simply find your symbols and match them to those numbers, and type those numbers into the X, Y, and Z slots on that website, and press calculate, and it will spit out the code for you to type in. Alternatively, you can also just go to Perk and pay him 5,000 points, and he will give you the code to type in. But if this website ever goes down or something, I'll try to find an alternative to link instead in the future. So simply go back to the computer, type in that code, and then you're going to see the radar start trying to locate a location. So what you're going to want to do is end the round to go to the next round, and then the location will finally be revealed. So just memorize where this location is shown on the map. You can open up your TAC map and even ping it on the map if you need to. And make sure you also pick up the resonator from the computer. Then simply head down below the C tower to get yourself a raft, and then you can go ahead and drive yourself to that island. Once you're on the island, you're going to see a blue orb there. So walk up to this blue orb and place the resonator inside of it. Then it's going to spawn a bunch of zombies. So just survive, kill the zombies, and the orb is going to zap one of the zombies and turn it into the same color as the orb. What you're then going to want to do is kill that zombie either directly on the orb so that it'll collect the essence dropped from the zombie, or simply kill the zombie away from it and pick up the ball that it drops and take it to the orb. So after you deposit the first one, you're then going to have to do it again, as it's going to zap another zombie. Once you've deposited the essence of both of them, then you can pick up the resonator off the ground. Be sure to pay attention to where the orb flies off to, because it's going to fly off in a certain direction. Hop back on your boat and drive over in that direction, and keep your eyes peeled for an island containing the next glowing orb. This time it's going to be green. And basically you have to do the same thing again, and then pick back up the resonator, and then the orb is going to fly off in one last direction. So follow it once again to this last island, place down your resonator, and repeat for one final time. But on this final purple one, it'll finally drop the part you need once you've completed it, which you can pick up. Once you have this part, head all the way back to the computer room that you opened up, where you can now craft the Beam Smasher in the back right corner of the room. Now besides this, you can of course get the Beam Smasher from the mystery box. This weapon is actually pretty decent. It can be directly pack-a-punched. The right trigger is a beam attack that is actually pretty strong, and then the left trigger attack does sort of a stun attack and weakens the zombies. Full main Easter egg on Terminus in Black Ops 6 Zombies. So let's just hop right into it. So first things first is you're going to have to get the Beam Smasher Wonder Weapon. You can get this from the mystery box, or you can just go and craft it. Once you have the Beam Smasher, you're going to have to activate and then shoot one of 3 possible traps around the map with the Beam Smasher. So the first possible location is right there at the jug room on the doorway, and then the other 2 are down in the biolab at both of the entrances to the 2 different caves. You can actually find the correct trap by looking on the ground below it, and you should find an ID card hinting that this is the trap that would have it in. So simply activate the trap and look up at it and shoot it with the Beam Smasher, and a hard drive should fall down and you can pick it up, if it's the correct trap. Once you have this hard drive, go and take it to Perk, who's located at spawn behind a window. Just drop it into the open slot, and then you're gonna have to find 3 different numbers around the map. So the first number can be found in the interrogation room. If you head over to the barrier, just look at the clock on the wall and look for the number that the hour hand is pointing the closest to. So in my case, it was 5 here. The second number is gonna be in the mess hall, and on the left side of the room, you're going to see a board on the wall with a playing card. Simply look at the playing card, and the number of the card is your second number. And then lastly, you can go to the left of the jug room to the workbench room and find a sign on the wall with a giant number, and that is your third and final number. So with these 3 numbers, head down into the biolab and hold interact on the pod that's in the middle. After a bit of dialogue, you will be able to interact with the keypad there and type in that code. Once the code is entered, you can then go to the sides of the pod and activate the valves to release them. If you're in a co-op game, each player needs to stand at a different valve and hold interact on them at the same time. And then after that, you're going to have a mini boss fight, so be prepared for this step. But it's not too hard. You have the entire biolab to move around in, so just train up the boss and all the zombies that are spawning in, and eventually you should take them down nice and easy. After that fight, there's going to be a quick cutscene, and then after the cutscene and some dialogue, a key card is going to fall into the water just below the biolab. So just jump down there, dive in, and scan the floor area for a highlighted glowing yellow key card, which you can pick up. With this key card, you're going to have to take it to the shipwreck out in the distance of the map, and you're going to want to head underneath it into the hole that's in the side of the boat, and inside of there you're going to find a ladder. So hop on the ladder, climb on up, and the hatch should open up. And for this step, you're going to need to be prepared for a lockdown, where they're going to send zombies and vermin after you. So make sure you have some perks and some upgraded weapons, and you're good to go for this. Once you're ready, head over to the table and grab a node connector to start the lockdown. But feel free to drop the connector, because it does slow your movement while you're actually holding out here. Once the lockdown is over, the hatch will open back up, and then you're going to want to take these 2 connectors, as there is 2 on the table, to 2 of 3 possible locations. So the first one can be at the island right behind the shipwreck, just on the side here. If it's there, you'll be able to interact with it and craft the connector into place. The second possible location can be right next to the vertical rappel area under a sea tower. However, this one wasn't needed for me in my game. And then the third and final possible location is just in the caves that Speed Cola is in along the wall. Now once you've repaired your 2 locations, you're going to get some dialogue, and then you can head over to Perk, where he will then open up the slot and hand over a hacking device after you interact with him. So simply collect this hacking device, and you're going to have to hack 3 buoys that are in the ocean. The first one is over near the shipwreck, so when you get close to it, there's going to be some parasites in the air. Simply shoot them down, hop out of your raft, and just hold interact on the buoy, and you will hack it. Once you hack the first one though, you're going to be put on a timer to get the rest. So from that area, if you keep going clockwise around the main island, you should find an area that sort of looks like a submarine docking area, and then off in the distance to the left, you're going to find the second buoy you can hack. And then the third and final buoy is actually going to be close by to one of the sea towers with the rappel that's underneath it, as we previously visited. After you hack that third location, I recommend getting immediately over to the bio biolab, the center of the map, because after some dialogue, you're going to be put on a timer to defuse 3 bombs in the biolab. So there's going to be 2 on the lower stair level, and there's going to be 1 that's right underneath the topmost area of the lab. So you're on a 5-minute timer. There's going to be a lot of zombies and a lot of elite enemies. So what I did in a solo game is I tried to train them up, and the defuse time is long, but it does save your progress. So I would start defusing on 1 until the zombies reached me as I paid attention to the minimap, and if I started getting hit, then I would immediately run to the next location, start defusing that, and once the zombies caught up, I moved on to the next, and basically repeated that until I defused all 3 bombs. Once you've successfully done that, you are now ready for the boss fight. And this boss fight can be quite challenging, so I recommend getting pretty set up. You're going to want all your perks, probably tier 3 pack-a-punch, legendary weapons if you can get it, wonder weapons, self-revives, gobblegums, any equipment and score streaks you can muster. And I've been told that Blast Furnace and possibly Deadwire do the most damage to the boss. And once you're ready, simply head over to the door that's next to Melee Macchiato that'll now be open, and once you interact with it, there'll be a short introduction to the boss that is the Kraken. So he basically has 3 phases. For this first phase, watch out for his tentacle attack where he'll slam it down in the middle of the area. And don't feel like you have to stay in the back area, feel free to run around the entire boss arena. I didn't really learn that until the latter half of the boss fight, but you're going to want to focus your fire on the glowing red boils that are going to be on his shoulder areas. So while you're shooting his boils and running around, you might see some tentacles out in the distance that are shooting at you. When they start charging up to shoot, you can see them glow yellow, and you can shoot them and actually destroy them and make them disappear, and it does a little bit of damage to the boss as well. But for the other phases of the boss fight, he might actually harden up and start revealing his tentacles and just shoot any part of him that ends up glowing, no matter what stage you're in. So this could end up being tentacles, or in some cases, it might just be in his mouth or directly in his face, such as some of the latter phases. But he's pretty much always going to be doing the tentacle attacks in the middle of the areas, so be careful for that because they do a lot of damage. There's going to be all sorts of zombies, parasites, and vermin spawning in during this, and as you progress, there's also going to be manglers and sometimes amalgams. And on the final phase of the boss, he's going to start doing a wipe attack. And you'll be able to tell because he's going to be all blue, and there's going to be sort of a charging effect where your screen will start lighting up white. And there will be a distinct sound, so when this charging up, just be sure to take cover from the boss so that he doesn't affect you. Simply jumping in the water will also protect you. And then I could climb up the ladders to get back up. On this stage though, you will need to shoot him in the face. If you got stuck like me on the back side, you should be able to swim up the left or right side to get to the ladders to get to the front. Another tip for the final phase of the boss fight where he's glowing blue is that a chopper gunner is really effective on him in this part because you can just lay into him. Also, when he stops glowing blue on this phase, beware of his tongue that swipes in the middle of the section, and if you touch it, it will start pulling you into his mouth and kill you. But you can stop him by shooting him while he's pulling you in, and if you deal enough damage, he will let you go. And once you've successfully done enough damage, you will have officially beaten the Kraken and get the Easter egg cutscene. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed or found this useful. If you did, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more zombies guides, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.